who are married to the idea of mediocrity is just okay with living an ordinary life. They're fine with it. They get up, they punch that clock, they go in there, they do their job, they leave, they wake up and they do it again. With no special or distinctive features. That's what ordinary is. Nothing special or no distinctive features. Normal. They're okay with it. Huh? I got something to not I. I am not okay with ordinary. Ain't nothing about me normal. Not a thing. There is not nothing about me normal. All my mind does all day long is think of the next thing. Alright, y'all, what's going on? What's happening? It's me, your host of the Spoken One Podcast, your voice of reason, mixed with a touch of wisdom, the brother that wants to see you win, the brother that is here for the man, the brother that is here for the woman, the one who just here for the people. It's me, one and only, Zaire Speaks. And today, I think we got a pretty good topic to talk about, me personally. I think it's something that we as people, if we're not careful, we fall into this realm and we don't often escape it. And it's also something that is a condition like mindset. And the topic of the day is mediocrity. And I know a lot of people has probably heard the word mediocre a lot in your life, and you never really understand of how that word is not a term of endearment. It's not something that is just like you want to be. It's not something that you want to be associated with. So before we get started, let's break down a couple of definitions, shall we? So let's look at mediocrity. Mediocrity is a dominant class consisting of mediocre people, or a system in which mediocrity is awarded. Let me say that again. So mediocrity is a dominant class, right? Consisting of mediocre people. It's a class of mediocre people, or a system in which mediocrity is rewarded. So let's break down the word mediocre. So to be mediocre, right? It is only of moderate quality and not very good. So it says that it's only of moderate quality and not very good. So then go back to that definition of mediocrity. A dominant class consisting of mediocre. So it's dominating. It's a class consisting of moderate quality and not very good people, or a system in which mediocrity is rewarded. That's mediocrity. So today we got to take a look at that. Most people who live a life of being mediocre, some of them don't want to work too hard. It's not to say that they won't work. They just don't want to work too hard. They don't want to continue to try to overcome. And sometimes they cool with it just being easy. So the question of the episode is this: how could you say you want so much, but ain't willing to do much? Ask the question again. How can you say that you want much, right, but it's not willing to do much? And that is that whole gray area, that mesh of mediocre and mediocrity. So today, the talking points of this episode of how you become married to this idea, to this class, to this system of people. How do you become married to mediocrity? And these are the three talking points. Number one is you do just enough and not much more. Number two is you have low expectations sometimes and no standards, or not enough of them. And you're okay with an ordinary life. Being okay with an ordinary life is how you can become married to mediocrity. So, with that being said, let's dive into this thing. Let's dissect. And let's look at the first one. Number one is people who do just enough and not much more. And how we become married to the idea of mediocrity. So, first question I ask is, what does average do for you? Like, what does it mean to be average? How does that make you feel, right? How fulfilled does it leave you being average? You know, there's this new term that came out. I read this article, and it was from AugustResumeBuilder.com. Shout out to them. It's about being a quiet quitter, right? So they did a little survey, and they surveyed about 1,000 working Americans, and 21% of their correspondents say they only do the bare minimum. and another 5% say they do even less than what they're paid to do. So this trend took off last year, right? And the trend of quiet quitting is also shown in the amount of time people put into their work. In the survey, 1/3 of the respondents say they've reduced their weekly work hours by more than 50%. It was a new trend, man. It took off in 2022, right? And so what the trend does, right, it takes the idea out about being this the hustling mentality. You know, it slows down the go-getter. And they say, why work more and enjoy less? But does quiet quitting actually help? And my question to quiet quitting is, what are you exactly enjoying if you are not putting in any labor that won't bear any fruit? Like, how much work are you putting in? What are you crafting? What are you working on if you're doing just enough and not even much more? You don't have a go-getter mentality and you're in a hustler and you're not going after what you want. So what are you enjoying is my question. And why practice the habit of quitting? Because all our life we've been told to not be a quitter. So it's like counterproductive if I'm going to quietly quit something, right? I'm going to practice a bad habit so that the day I don't want it to show up, and when it does show up, I'm going to try to break it. Because that's the thing about bad habits. They follow you in everything you do. They ain't going to just be there for the stuff you don't like. They're going to be there for the stuff you do like too. They show up on the day you do not need them. Understand that. So if you want to quietly quit and do just enough and not much more, or reduce the amount of work you do, what are you benefiting from it is my question. And like I said, does this actually help you? You know, is having a quitting mindset in any type of scenario, does that actually help you? You know, and when I look at it, I'm like, that stuff is so clear as to how you can develop being mediocre. How you can be a person of not enough good quality with these people and get trapped in this system of low quality because you've been putting out low effort. And like I said, that's something that we got to sit on and we got to think about that. You know what I mean? Like, do I really want to spend my time putting out bad things? It's a mediocre mindset. Number 2, having low expectations and standards. So today, if we look at the world, right? Just looking at today's people, a lot of people don't value honesty as much. Hard work is starting to diminish, and effort is at an all-time low. I'm a millennial, and the one thing that is frequent within our generation is we are struggling with hard work and honesty. I mean, every time you look up, I mean, if you're on social media, all you see is a bunch of, people figuring out ways how not to work. It's the thing now, man. Like, somebody got a hack for a hack for a hack. They just keep creating more and more ways how to creatively not to work. And a lot of people also don't value honesty, right? We can't take the truth, or we can't give it. That's why when you look up and you see people, if somebody gives them a very, very good constructive criticism, they always have to point the finger back instead of taking it. Where's the accountability element in that? And the effort, the push to want to be better, to max it out, to give it your all. Why not just want to see? Like, just do it just to be curious, right? To see what's going to happen. Why not just do that? Like, what's wrong with that? And so I got, like, one of my questions is, why are we running from expectations? Like, why don't we have standards? Like, what are you running from an expectation for? The expectation holds you accountable so that you can get on the trajectory to go to the path that you're supposed to be on. So why are you running from an expectation? Why don't you have a standard? Why isn't there any standard for yourself, or any standard for what it is that you want to do, or any standard for any living that you want to receive, or any standard for any quality of what you want to have within your life? Without an expectation and a standard, you are practicing a mediocre mindset, and you are becoming more and more married to the idea of mediocrity. The good thing about standards, man, they hold you accountable. They make you get up. They make you strive, thrive, and achieve. So why don't we want them? Why don't you want something that is only in your best interest? Why would you only want to go to the thing that is not in your best interest? Like, to me, that is just like the most backward thing that a person could do. There's no reason for me to keep walking over there if I know, right? I'm going to keep walking in the direction where the fire is. I understand. I see the fire, and I know the fire is over there. And I see it too, And I'm just going to keep walking in that direction. People are like, nah, man, you don't need to go over there. Nah, I'm good, bro. I'm still going to walk over here. Because it's burning. It looks more exciting. Right? Let me go over here where the fire is. Instead of going over here where the cool breeze and the beaches are. Where everybody else can have fruit. You know what I mean? From their labor. From their work ethic. From their push. From their passion. I don't want to walk over there with y'all. I'm going to go over here where all the people who don't do nothing go with the fire at. And we just chill and burn up. That's what we're going to do. We're going to walk over there. What sense does that make? What sense does that make? A low expectation and a standard. Nothing at all. Like, what do you expect? Like, what do you expect out of people? What do you expect for yourself? Do you expect to sit at home and do nothing, and that life you want gonna magically morph in front of you? You must have got the genie at home with you. It says you got Aladdin in real life out here in these streets. Like, is that what's going on at your crib? You rub your magic lamp. You got infinite amount of wishes. They ain't gonna work. I got my genie. That's what's going on? No, that ain't what's going on, man. Come on, wake up. And number 3, man, people who are married to the idea of mediocrity, it's just okay with living an ordinary life. They're fine with it. They get up, they punch that clock, they go in there, they do their job, they leave, they wake up and they do it again. With no special or distinctive features. That's what ordinary is. Nothing special or no distinctive features. Normal. They're okay with it. Huh? I got something to not I. I am not okay with ordinary. Ain't nothing about me normal. Not a thing. There is not nothing about me normal. All my mind does all day long is think of the next thing. That's all my mind does. It's constantly in that. It's like it's in overload. It's only thinking of the next thing. It's only thinking of the next idea. It's only thinking of the next topic. It's only thinking of the next progressive way. Yes, I'm like other people sometimes, and yeah, entertainment can trap me, but I can get right back away from it. Because my soul is starving. Like my heart's hungry. Everything inside of me now. The older I get, and I said it once I reached this age, that my life was going to be about choice. So I'm making the choices and the decisions to choose what I want to see and talk about. I'm making the choice and the decision to be around who I want to be around. I need the people who are going to be around me that are going to feed my hunger. Feed the things that I want. Who want the work ethic that I want. I don't want to be ordinary. Because I'm not meant to be ordinary. And neither are you. But you can fall into being ordinary if you adopt this mediocre mindset and you become married to mediocrity. If you fall into this system, this is where you will be. And one class of people that I heard this the other day. Shout out to Earn Your Leisure. I heard this on Earn Your Leisure, and the guy was talking about the people who normally have this mindset are the working class people, right? Get up, work hard, middle class, work as hard as you can. And you got to save up to always go do something. You got to wait till the weekend to always go do something. You can't live and enjoy life because you put limitations on it. You set boundaries around it. You adopt the mediocre mindset. A life of low quality, right? Moderate quality, excuse me. Something that's not very good. It's not good to always be wondering where your money's coming from. It's not good to always be waiting to the next payday. It's not good to always be wondering about, can you spend this? It's not good to live in that mode. But when you adopt those principles, that's where you're going. You know? And when you're ordinary, you want the same thing that everybody else do. Just want to be normal. Why? What's that? Why? Why do you want to be normal? Why do you want to be like everybody else? Why do you want to be a robot? Why do you want to be robotic? Wake up, wash your face, brush your teeth, put your clothes on, get in your car, drive, go to work, leave work, pick up your kids, come back home, get everybody ready, go to bed, wake up, do it again. Robot. Why do you want that? Why? So, am I saying it's wrong to be average? No. I'm not saying that at all. That's your prerogative. If you want that, do it by all means. Do you? But I ask you, how will you feel when it's all said and done? Or when you're approaching the end? When you slow down, will you feel fine? Will you accept the results? That's my question. And if not, if on the other side of that, you say, I'm not feeling good, this isn't good for me, I don't want this, separate. End it. And divorce any idea of ever being married to mediocrity. Look forward and turn away from all that leaves you wanting. Do you really want to spend your days wanting? Nah, you don't want to spend your days wanting. You want to spend your days having. And the only way to have is to push. Is to go for it. Is to go get it. And not become married to mediocrity. I'm out, y'all. Speaks.